What's up, traders? John Hall here. Hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I'm going to have a bit of a market update time. Have a look at the indices, silver and gold, a bit of a long term and some other things that I want to share with you in this market update. Let's get straight into it, guys. Do not place trade based on this video. This is not financial advice. This is me educating you on what's happening right now in the markets. So hopefully you can make better decisions in the markets moving forward, okay? Trading is risky. It can cause substantial financial loss. So make sure you know what you're doing before you get involved with the markets. I'll talk more about that a bit later on. But anyway, in any event, let's actually get straight into the bit of a market update here. And let me just go through and show you what's actually happened here. So firstly, what ended up happening here on the Dow Jones is we had a big gap up. And then they actually came back down and we actually closed basically right on that low through there. So we have been rallying back up, a gap high, and then we came straight down and then basically closed this gap where we are right there. Same with the S&P 500, bit of a gap up, and it came down and closed lower, and also the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq's actually looking quite weaker than compared to the other markets there with these big red bars. But rest assured, guys, that when you're looking at these markets, this low right here is the low that we need to start changing. If we start to break this low here, then that's when the overall trend is changed. But until that happens, buyers are still in control. So do not short this market yet, okay? Yes, the market may start to come down right now, but we're still making higher lows all the way up. This still could just be another little higher low before we break up and go for another run. Do not short the market right now, okay? That's what I recommend. Now, with that being said, that's a short-term analysis there, okay? By looking at the Nasdaq, by looking at all that sort of markets. Now, let me share with you guys what I see here on the overall markets here. And I've shared this a couple of times, but I want to reiterate and re-show you what I see here in the markets and on the markets as itself. So, firstly, I want to share this graph with you here, which is basically the Nasdaq, looking at the monthly charts here. And as you can see, right, see how vertical this price has been? Look how vertical this price has been, and now we're getting a little bit of a pullback here. We will, guys, mark my words, we will get a retracement that comes back down to here. I'm not calling for an overall 80% stock market crash like some people here. What I am calling, and I don't know when this is going to happen, the daily chart will start to roll over, right? We'll start to get some lower highs on the daily chart. But until that happens, then don't short the market. But with that being said, the bigger picture with this, which basically this is the monthly chart, okay? The monthly chart, when we see here, is that we will get a 20 to 30% pullback in the markets, and that's probably going to happen really quickly. This entire bubble here will get retraced really quickly. Now again, I don't know when that's going to start. The daily charts will start to show us when that's going to happen. But yeah, it's just really interesting to see. Same with the Dow Jones. Look at the Dow Jones, all right? So we just completely bubbled through here. Now, why I do not want to shorten the market right now, because we don't know when this bubble is going to end. When the bubble does start to end, we're going to probably retrace this entire thing here. Probably 20 to 30% retracement pretty quickly when that happens. And same for the S&P 500. Once again, market runs up very similar to the Dow Jones, and I do see a pretty quick 20 to 30% retracement happening really quickly. Again, the daily chart will actually start to show us that, okay? So until the daily chart starts to roll over, guys, then we don't want to be shorting this. Again, this is the daily chart here, looking on the S&P 500, looking at the line chart. Same with the Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq continue making higher lows all the way up. So you do not want to be fighting this uptrend yet. So again, so that's what I want to share with you guys, looking at the indices there. Do not short the market yet, but on the other hand, just want to remind you guys that we are definitely in bubble territory right now. This bubble will be bursting real soon, and when it does start to burst, it's going to come down really fast. Now, let me just share something with you that I've been looking at here on this line chart here. I want to share something with you. This is a bit more of a short-term view on silver and gold, but then also a bit more of a longer-term view. So short-term, looking at this line chart on this SILJ chart, basically silver, the ETF there, you can see basically what's ended up happening. We started breaking well below these levels through here, and now it looks like we're heading down towards these levels through here on the SILJ chart through here. Now yesterday, I was talking about how when that if the market starts to break below these lows through here and we start to rally back up, this is going to be like a bit of a bear sucker rally, and then or a bit of a bear trap. and then the bulls start to take off. Now, one thing I'm looking at here, if I bring up, say, my longer term chart, so that's the daily chart. Now I'm bringing up my monthly, my weekly chart here. But if I bring up my monthly chart, you'll be able to see what I'm looking at here and when things are likely to turn around. So you're looking at silver right now. And one thing I want to remind you guys when I look at this long-term silver with this long-term SLV chart is that we are now starting to base out. We're starting to base out, and we're creating a major bottoming pattern through here. And if you can actually see it, right, we have this, what is this over here? We have a shoulder, a head, and then a long shoulder through here. And we're definitely basing out. And what I mean by basing out is we're not going down a lot on this monthly line chart, but notice how we had this low, and now we're sort of just basing out through here. Even if it drops down a little bit more down to say $14, we're basing out through here, and all it's going to take is a little bit of rally up. And as soon as we start to break past this $20 level on the monthly charts, then it's probably going to race right back up to new highs pretty quickly, I would say. Now, not like that, probably going to get something like this. So same with the gold chart as well too. If I go back to the monthly chart on the gold chart, you can actually see what's happening here. On the gold chart, we're actually putting in some major higher highs and higher lows. Buyers are long-term overall are in control. You have this low, and look at this here. Lower low, lower low, lower low. Market runs up, lower high, sellers in control, sellers in control. But John, the gold market is not a stock. Well, that's how the markets work. Look at it. It's the facts are there, right? What is this? A higher high? This is a higher low. So gold overall in this monthly chart, buyers are still in control. That's why I'm still very bullish on gold. And once we break past this 130 level on the ETF, the GLD, then we're probably going to race up to new highs, breaking these new highs pretty quickly. And then guess what? Guess what's going to happen? Gold and silver will be the next bubble, right? No one talks about gold and silver right now. They did all of last year. Why? Because that was the hot thing, right? Gold and silver's gone through. Gold and silver, right? Everyone's talking about gold and silver. What are they talking about right now? Bitcoin. Why? Because it's the bubble. Wait for Bitcoin to do exactly what silver and gold did last year. When everyone didn't expect it, and then the money starts to run back into silver and gold, and then you'll be able to see everyone start to talk about silver and gold once again. It's just the way the markets work. So what I wanted to do here, guys, is I wanted to share something with you, and one thing I want to encourage you guys to do is don't ever just get into a position because you think something is going to happen, or you hope something's going to happen, or because you think something's going to happen. I think I said the same thing twice. I'm really exhausted right now, but I wanted to get this video out for you to share with you. Now, what I mean by that is this. If I go have a look at my good old Tesla here, right? Good old Tesla. Now, one thing that I want to share with you guys is this. Is that a lot of people have said Tesla doesn't make money, so this stock price cannot go up. They're bankrupt. They don't make any money. So let's short the stock. And that's where a big mistake comes into when looking at something fundamentally with a company, right? Because even though a company is fundamentally not making any money, the price can still go up based on dreams, based on supply and demand, and so on and so forth, right? So the important thing to do is, guys, when you're putting a position on, is that you never put a position on based on what you think is going to happen. So for example, I know a lot of people who try to short Tesla as it was making its way up, trying to short Tesla because it can't keep going up. Surely it can't keep going up because it doesn't make any money, right? I heard that so many times over the last couple of years, and guess what? It just keeps going up, keeps going up. But look what's happening right now. Fundamentally, the company doesn't make any money, okay? But what's happening right now, technically the chart is saying on this overall big long-term chart, even this weekly chart here, technically it's saying that we should start to get a bit of a drop now in Tesla. So now the technicals and fundamentals are coming together. Don't ever just trade something because something fundamentally sounds like it's going to, it's going to work out that way. Always use the chart and always use the chart to trade the markets just by itself, because there's so many times, and you guys have probably been there, right? I've been there many times myself, where you get in because you think something just sounds so compelling, a story, basically, right? Some sort of a story of that reason why we get into something. Why we hope, we think it's going to happen. It's like, oh my goodness, when this happens, then gold's going to spike and blah, 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 right? It's like, we trade based on this hope. We trade based on this story that it's a compelling story, the reason why something's going to happen based on what someone else said or what we think is going to happen. And I want to use Tesla as a good example that just because you think something's going to happen doesn't mean it will. And the best thing to do, guys, is wait for that chart to line up with what you're looking for, then to take the position based on what the chart is telling you, not based on what something else is telling you. Because I've seen so many times, so many people will get into a long-term trade when the market is continuing to go down, or they'll short Tesla when the market is continuing to step up for a while. Now it's starting to step down. We're getting very, very weak. Again, I do expect to see this thing down in the next 6 months. I see this thing down at $200. I've actually got my money on that, so we'll see what happens over the next 6 months. Now, that's what I want to share with you guys with the overall markets. There is that it's so important if you want to be a successful trader in the markets. Successful traders don't trade based on hope. They don't trade on based on what they think is a good idea, and they surely don't look at someone else's video and say, oh well, he said this, so I'm going to do this. No, what successful traders do is they simply have a trading plan, and through the nutshell of a trading plan, what is a trading plan? It's basically a trading setup that they know they can rely on, that it's going to work out more times than not, and they're going to make a good return overall. Now, individual traders, they don't know what's going to work out, right? But successful traders say, you know what, my trading plan, or i.e. my trading setup that I'm looking for, I know that works good 7, 8, 9 times out of 10. And so that's all they focus on, is they focus on that. Because guess what, guys? You can't put a probability onto a trade that you think is a good idea, right? You need simply a mechanical approach to getting out of the markets. My trading and my account has grown my trading and my success rate and everything in my trading, especially this year, has grown to an all-time new level because I'm trading simply mechanical. I'm trading simply mechanical, and I'm looking for a certain setup. When I see the setup, I'm in the markets. It doesn't matter what I think is going to happen, whether the market's booming or going down. If I see a stock that's like, for example, right, the market's been going up for quite a long time. I just got out of a short position this morning for a really, really nice profit, 90% profit. Now the thing is like, oh my goodness, I went short a stock market. I went short a stock while the market's been rallying up, making new highs. The thing is that the setup was there, and I have no choice but to just take it because I know the setup is going to work for me 9 times out of 10. It just works. Makes sense, guys? So I want to encourage you guys to, if you want to be able to do this more full time and you want to be able to do this consistently, then start to treat this seriously and I really want to encourage you guys to start to develop an urgency of doing the work. And that work is starting to develop a plan or developing a trade setup that you know that works. Now, what I mean by that is that developing a trade setup that you know that works. This means you take a setup and you go back and you back test it and you research based on that setup, and you don't start trading that live until you start to believe that yes, this really does work long term. Not just, oh well, it's going to work for this next few months. No, my trading plan will never ever change because it never does change. It's just the way the markets work. So don't trade based on fundamentals. Don't trade it based on what you think is a good idea, because that's not going to give you a probability, right? Because remember, not every single trade is going to work out for you. But how can you actually stack the probability on your side if you're taking trades left, right, and center, which all of them are completely different trades? There's no probability racked into that. Makes sense? Called the edge. There's no edge racked into those trades that you think is a good idea. Or I'm going to short this stock because it's fundamentally bad, and I'm going to go long this market because, you know, things are going to go to hell, and all these sort of things. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys? Because not every single trade's going to do really well. But if you want that edge on your side, then start taking the same setup again and again and again. That's how successful traders do. And I learned this from my mentor, who makes $3 to $5 million a year, almost every year. I say almost every year because sometimes he makes more. Makes sense, guys? So, and what he does, to put it simple, is he has a trading setup, a very simple trading setup, a very, very, very simple, just five rules. That's all he's looking for. And he has no indicators on the chart. The chart basically looks like mine. Well, that's what he actually does look like mine. Just 1 or 2 moving averages and volume. That's all it looks like. and he has that edge and he takes the trade. So if you want to be able to start to move forward in a probability way and start to have the odd on your side and the edge to actually start tapping into that edge, you need to start trading a system that you believe in, and that you take that system every single time, and then over 10 trades. And this is how successful trading is done. You take that exact same setup and you repeat it, and you take it again and again and again and again. Different stocks or different markets, doesn't matter, right? You take it again and again and again and again. You're like, oh, look, I just taken 10 trades, and oh my goodness, 7 were right, 3 were wrong, or whatever. Oh, look, I've just taken 20 trades, and oh my goodness, I'm getting a 75% win-loss ratio. Awesome. Do you know what I mean, guys? That's how you get the edge in the markets. But you can't get an edge in the markets if you just say, okay, Tesla is almost going to go bankrupt, so I'm going to short the stock. No. It's important that you just trade. You don't trade something on based on what you think. You trade based on something that you know is going to give you that edge in the markets. And that edge, once again, is just a trading setup, a technical trading setup that you believe in, that you know that's going to work, and that you've actually done the work, right? You've done your back testing, you've done your research, you've done some live trading as well too. You can see how it works for you. Make sense, guys? So anyway, guys, I hope this really helps you out. I really wanted to do this video here because I see so many people shorting the market right now because they think because they know there's a bubble, there's a crash going to come. This bubble could keep going up for a long time. I see so many people shorting Tesla all the way up. It's like this stock just can't keep going up. It's like the market can keep doing whatever it's going to do, but the chart will start to show us, like it is right now, that hey, this is actually starting to get a lot weaker in the market. So have an amazing day, guys.